Hello, my darling. Welcome back. I want to talk to you today about the process of resistance-free parenting. Resistance-free parenting is all about inviting you into having more freedom through the process of release. It's not through the process of doing or having, striving for, making change. It's about letting go. It's about release. And I think that can feel so simple that part of us goes, oh, yes, it resonates, just like in that breath, that letting go, that release of that tension and that ease. And yet our psyche, all our thinking clicks in, and it just sounds so simple it's silly. So simple it's not for me. So simple it's out of reach. So simple it doesn't understand life, doesn't understand my life. And we take what's simple and we make it not be easy. And I do that too, so I really get that. But resistance-free parenting is all about the release. And today I wanted to talk about that in the context of stuff that people say and people do, people close to us particularly, where it cuts deep. The things people say and do that hurts, that triggers, and that brings the stuff up that's going on the inside of us and rubs against it, because that's where our work lies. It's not actually with that thing that person said. We can't change them. We can't change their opinion. We can't change those external circumstances. But we can change how it hits us inside. If my daughter says to me, Mum, you've got a green head and you smell like mouldy Play-Doh, just laugh, it's a little kid insult that has no meaning to me. It doesn't touch me. I don't relate to that. It doesn't hit on any of my insecurities. If she says, Mum, you've got a big wobbly tummy. Oh, now that might feel like it belongs to me. I might take that. That hits on an insecurity. And something comes up on the inside. And so the outside meets the inside. So it wasn't what happened on the outside that mattered, because in both of those situations, I was given an intended, just using a childlike insult, the things that are all familiar to us, the little kids say, but one touched and one didn't because of what's going on the inside. And that's our constant journey in our relationships and in life. Constant, where it hits on the inside is where something happens. And we don't have control on that stuff going on outside, but we have the opportunity to get conscious and get present with what's going on the inside and what it's inviting us into releasing. And the thing I hear a lot about from you guys when I work with you, sometimes it's things that our children and young people say to us, especially as they get older, and their insults and their hurts get a bit closer. they get a bit cleverer than the ones that I said, or as our children and young people turn into young adults, there can be frictions that come through those relationships where those things wound. Or it might be that they're just speaking their own hurt not even intending to hurt us, but speaking their own hurt, their own experience of lack, but it hits on some sense of lack in us, you know, and so we can get wounding through those people. Also, what was coming up for me was when people say things about us as a parent, you know, about our parenting, but about us as a parent, or us as a homemaker, or us as, you know, as a family person, whatever role we identify with, excuse me. And that's what I was really feeling into today, wanting to come and speak this out and offer you to come into this space of exploration with me, just to notice if anything's coming up for you. And I bring in a great awareness that some of you are working in situations which feel deeply challenging because there may be a power imbalance in the relationship. It may feel like there are consequences of the judgments of people. I'm thinking particularly in the case of some professional and educator relationships with our family. So I invite you to go into this gently as an exploration, and maybe start with the places that don't feel like there's actually a threat to your family's safety, you know, because that's really diving in the deep end, and we can be gentle with ourselves. So holding, you know, so much love and compassion for anybody who's in that space. Just inviting you to really take care of yourself and be in lightness with this, and exploration and curiosity. So just notice what's coming up in your mind. Is it something with a partner? Is it something with a parent or an in-law, or, you know, a grandparent to one of your children, young people, or an uncle or an aunt? Is it a friend who's got a different opinion on parenting to you? A lady in the shop that you go in who, you know, makes those little remarks. Coming to mind a little story for me of, because we home educate, being swimming one time in a hotel with some friends, so they also home educate, and we were in the swimming pool, and there was a lady who was really, what's the word I want? I was going to say disturbed, but that makes me sound like I'm saying she was mentally disturbed. I just mean her routine was disturbed because she went to what was traditionally, just by circumstances, a place where it's very quiet and mostly adults, I should think, and there's these children in the pool, and it jarred for her. And so she made some comments to us, which, you know, really sounded, on the surface of it, certainly sounded like it came with a lot of judgment about the choices about how we were educating our children. And she was expressing her displeasure that there were children in the pool. And it's interesting, you know, that this story is coming to mind because I think it's one that doesn't feel heavy for me, and it feels like relatable and shareable. Whether you home educate or not, it doesn't matter. We all come across opinions, and sometimes it's our perception, isn't it? Like a look or a, you know, just a feeling of what somebody's thinking, or sometimes they actually express something. We always hear it through our filter, of course. It's always our perception. But in this little story, it doesn't have much charge for me, but it's just coming up as a little example. But it's humorous, really, because I remember her saying to us, you know, why are they not in school? And we said, well, they're home educated. And she said, thought about it for a minute. What lesson is this then? I remember me and my friend looking at each other and then looking at her and swimming. You know, it was just like, but it was just like a defensive remark, and she was so irritated, like, you know, this came out of her mouth, and it just, this entertaining story just came into my mind. But, you know, we've certainly, as a family who have a child who's neurodivergent, who has, you know, non-mainstream needs, I guess, and a family who embraces a different way of living and being. We've come across more than our fair share, for sure, of people who don't understand, perhaps don't approve. You know, I know what these things are like. We felt the friction of where things are complex, to hold space for our child to have their needs met, and to continue with the patterns that were familiar for us of pleasing others around us. You know, so certainly for us as a family, those opportunities in life have arisen for us to grow, for me to grow. I'll speak for myself in speaking my truth, holding my boundaries, finding my needs, you know. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't comfortable. But it has created the opportunity for me to release things and to experience more sense of peace and calm on the inside, and deeper connection to myself, and that sense of inner freedom that comes from unconditionally loving and accepting myself as a mum, as me. I had a little sort of a example of something come to my mind. I'm going to see how this sits as I try it out with you. But what I was speaking of was where the external touches the internal. I had this sense of fire, and I don't mean necessarily it being fiery, in that sense of passion or anger necessarily, but like I was thinking of like getting a fire burning. You know, when you have to start a fire, whether you've got like a log fire at home or you've ever started a campfire, which I have not, by the way, but you know, you have to like get your kindling, get a spark, you have to like, you know, have the oxygen, you have to have the fuel to get this fire going, to get the embers burning, and then it, you know, can really take. And that's kind of like the stuff on the inside I was talking about, you know, something from the outside, somebody's opinion, somebody's expectations, an insult, you know, whatever it is can come, but if there's nothing for it to take with, if there's no fuel, it can't go anywhere. It's just going to fizzle out. And in fact, if we've got this, you know, I've got this lovely image of like calm waters inside. There's nothing for it to spark with. There's nowhere for it to go. And it has to just fizzle out because it hasn't ignited. And that is not the same, and I just need to really clarify this. It is not the same as denying, suppressing, repressing the feelings that we feel when this stuff happens. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about deeply acknowledging what we are experiencing, what we are feeling, what it's reminding us of, how it's making us feel, the thoughts that are coming through, and making them really conscious, hearing them, but not responding from them, holding them in space, in safe space, in loving space, making them part of our whole. And then allowing them to move in their time, allowing them to bring the awareness, to bring the messages, and then be released. And for those of you who know my work, I love emotional freedom techniques for being able to support our nervous system and our mind in being able to do that. It's a mind, body, spirit system. It works holistically, and we tap on some acupoints to really support our nervous system and our brain and body as we have this focus, this intention of our new awareness, and we bring it into our wholeness, and we make it our friend, we make it our messenger, we thank it for the experience it's brought us and the knowledge it's brought us and all it's helped us to know and to grow into. And then we allow that energy to move, that energy to do what it's designed to do. You know, move. Energy is always meant to move, just like that flowing water I was talking about. I hope that lands for you today. Thanks for coming and spending this bit of time with me. I'm sending it with so very much love. If you are wanting to be held in space and supported, I am offering one-to-one appointments. I always forget to say that amongst things. But I do have some limited. I'm not saying that to amp up business. It's a fact, limited, because I'm a mum. But around, you know, weekend times particularly, I have a variety of appointments that I can do online, EFT exploration sessions with you. If you would enjoy that, you can just email me and we can have a discussion about if it's meant for you, what the price points are and what the availability is, and there's never any pressure. Just if you'd like that information and you'd like to know that, then, you know, just reach out. All the information is with the video for you, so you can just get in contact whichever way suits you. And I'm just sending you so much love. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do, being on this incredible journey. It means so much to me to spend this time with you and that you're out there doing this conscious work. Okay, lots of love. Bye.